Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from thecleanslate.org. Oh, I like the name. Addiction is not a disease. Fake recovery alternatives. New face of recovery, Narconon. Scientology. Snake oil promotions. Imagine that police officers align with this. I mean, maybe the police officers are snake oil salespeople themselves. One thing I'm very concerned about is that when people finally realize that conventional treatment and 12-step methods of recovery don't work, they go looking for alternatives and get drawn in by another ineffective program or something that has the same characteristics they were trying to escape by looking for alternatives. The danger I want to highlight today is Narconon. For those who don't know, the treatment centers called Narconon use a program developed with Scientology, based on the writings of L. Ron Hubbard, and are primarily run by Scientologists. I will not use this post as a means to debate the merits and or problems of Scientology, because I'm not well versed in it. I do, however, know many people who have been Narconon. What's often said is that it's a cult-like atmosphere. Beyond that, there are countless complaints by attendees. And there are methods used at these clinics that many consider questionable. Narconon uses all the language common to health scam artists. Most notably, they focus on removing toxins from the body. Whenever you hear the word toxins, it should send up a red flag, and you should be very careful of what you're being sold. While in a Narconon facility, you will be given massive doses of vitamins and niacin. Yeah, it's their answer to everything. As well as drinks made up of oils. And you'll spend hours on end in saunas. You actually consume meals and water while in the saunas. A process all aimed at removing the toxins, which force you to self-medicate. Just for the record, I am for detoxing. That's my opinion. Another common experience I've heard is that you sit in a room with someone who shouts insults at you for hours on end as a means of psychologically breaking you down. Sound like basic training? Sound like those troubled teen industry so-called safe havens? Until you no longer react negatively. This may be some people's cup of tea, but many would find it bizarre, unhelpful, and potentially dangerous or deadly. And many people are already suspicious of Scientology and want nothing to do with it, which is why I must write this post. Sitting in saunas won't teach you how to make better choices. Here is a link to Narconon Exposed, a website dedicated to debunking and tracking Narconon. http://www.cs.cmu.edu/Narconon/. I'm not affiliated with this site in any way. There are countless websites which speak of an alternative method of recovery. They mention success rates of 80%. and they speak quite eloquently about the dangers of the disease theory of addiction. This makes these sites quite attractive to those looking for an alternative to conventional treatment, but they are a Trojan horse and eventually funnel you into going to a Narconon rehab center, which ultimately funnels you into the Church of Scientology. I stumbled across one the other day. I suspect they take teenagers as well. Maybe one of you guys can look that up. This is my suspicion. They love to get them young, don't they? They love to get them young. The site I just found is called New Face of Recovery. And also go look into the Narconon that was started in a Tennessee town where the guy basically locked people up. He went to jail for it. He was a Scientologist. And it offers a book for sale of the same name. I was excited when I found the site, but as I searched through, it seemed intentionally vague about many things. Yeah, because they don't want to be liable. Which leads me to immediately suspect that it was a front for Narconon or some other Scientology-influenced product. I wasted $10 buying the book and reading it so that I could report back to you that it is indeed that. In the section of detoxification, the author outlines the vitamins, niacin oils, and sauna methods common to Narconon. Eventually, he discloses that these methods he recommends are outlined in a book called Clear Body, Clear Mind. Says from one who never had that. Did you see him, what he looked like? Come on. By none other than L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology. Furthermore, I Googled Lucas A. Catton, the author of the book, and found that many have identified him as a former employee of Narconon, Oklahoma. Yeah, some rinky-dink stuff happened out there, too. And the owner of other recovery sites which serve as fronts for Narconon. So if you want to avoid Narconon and or Scientology, then please avoid using the website. http://www.newfaceofrecovery.org/ And do not buy the book titled New Face of Recovery. It may, however, be educational to view the site so that you'll be better able to recognize a Narconon front site when you encounter it. There are many of them out there. Now, in the sense of being an alternative to conventional treatment, Narconon is radically different and thus an alternative. But what you are looking for an alternative to. Many people want to get away from the self-defeating disease model of addiction because it removes addiction from the realm of choice and puts it in the realm of biology, something that isn't under our direct volitional control. Unfortunately, while deliberately rejecting the disease model, Narconon achieves the same harmful end by convincing you that vitamin deficiencies and toxins are to blame. They keep addiction squarely in the realm of biology. This keeps people from focusing on the choice aspects of addiction, and thus makes it harder for them to change their habits. Another thing that many people want to escape when they go looking for alternative addiction treatments is the cult-like and quasi-religious atmosphere of 12-step groups and methods. Unfortunately, if you get scammed into going to Narconon, you will face these same problems. You'll just have them with a new group, and the cult-like atmosphere and religiosity could be much worse in Narconon, by many accounts. So to sum up, Narconon doesn't provide much of an alternative to the disease model of addiction, or the cult-like and quasi-religious aspects of 12-step programs, and thus is not the alternative that many are seeking when they go online looking. for an alternative treatment or method of recovery for addiction, and by being based on Narconon, the website and book titled New Face of Recovery doesn't offer much of an alternative either. Stay away from the fakes and look for the true alternatives to conventional treatment, which you can find all over this site, and particularly on my Find Help Now page, listed in the menu up top. Note, although Narconon sounds like a combination of Narcotics and Anonymous, it has nothing to do with the 12-step group Narcotics Anonymous, or NA, nor is it affiliated with a sister group to Al-Anon. It is its own organization and program, having nothing to do with 12-step programs. So that's it, you guys. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.